Hey everybody, it's King Kaiju. Welcome, and I wanted to let you know up front, a lot of the things that are discussed on this channel regarding pop culture and media are done through a lens of wokeness. But it did occur to me that you pretty much need a good definition of what that is so that everybody's on the same page. To that end, I have created a list of the different things that I have identified as making a work woke. And just because I thought, you know what, let's have a little bit of fun with this, I've assigned a point system to each one of those criteria. This is allowing us to, at the end of the year or sometime in the future, collate data, come up with statistics, compare things. It's going to be a blast. Nonetheless, I also have to say that I broke it into two different sort of criteria categories. That is to say, the first is going to be things that apply to all works, regardless. The second, however, is going to apply only to works that are adaptations. So either they've already got a source material in the form of a book or a comic book or even original version of the movie or TV show. Either way, those are going to apply to the pre-existing works. So with that being said, let's dive in. Alright, so the list is going to scroll onto the screen there. I wanted to let everybody know, because it has been asked before, that in order for a film to be woke, it really does need to have more than one of these characteristics. I don't really have necessarily a minimum number, possibly even maybe 3 or more. That's something we'll kind of have to play out as time progresses. But just having one of these, or even 2 of them, does not necessarily make a film woke. That being said, let's dive in. So, number 1 on the list here, the female lead, who is a Mary Sue. If you don't know what a Mary Sue is, look it up. Simplistic terms, it is the perfect female. No flaws, no struggles, everyone likes her. It's the most boring character. Number 2, the cast is diverse for the sake of diversity. Minorities, including gay, represent more than 50% of characters. So there's been a movement to replace everybody in the films and TVs with people that are diverse, in complete ignorance of whether that serves the purpose of the plot or not. When that number becomes ridiculous, it's woke. Third, the cast is gay or bisexual at a greater than 25% representation unless the plot revolves around a gay community or issues. You see time and time again that instead of one character being gay, which would make a perfect sense, or especially if it had to do with plot, half or 3/4 of the cast is gay or bisexual, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, if the film happens to take place around gay community or gay issues, then it does make sense. You get the idea. 4, at least 90% of male characters are weak, cruel, ineffectual, and or stupid. This is a repeat offender. As soon as every man in the movie is there for no other reason than to serve the woman or stroke the woman's ego or just look awful, it's woke. 5th, women are generally superior to men in male ways, in fighting, sports, feats of strength, etc. This is a big one that we see a lot because a lot of feminists incorrectly define equal as equal in every way, shape, or form. They don't understand or appreciate the differences in men and women. Next up, female actions have no consequences. Again, we do see this wherein women will do anything. They will offend. They will steal. They will cheat. Doesn't matter. There's no consequence. They just get to float through life completely unencumbered. Next up, female characters have no accountability or are always right. A little bit like the one before, but also very different. Both of these combined, you'll see a lot together when the writer is doing absolutely nothing but projection. And lastly, the message is more important than plot or character. The message is some kind of political agenda or some sort of a cause that the writer is behind, and that is more important than the characters or the plot. At that point, it's woke. All right, so now we switch gears. There's a lot that can be done when you are adapting existing works. Some things need to be done because it always doesn't translate from, say, book to film. But there are definitely some violations, and here they are. First, the words, the character looks, or the environment is altered to reflect modern times. You'll see this not only on the historical front, but also on the fantasy front. They're suddenly using modern phraseology, or the clothes just don't match, or the attitudes are completely different. Best example, something taking place in ancient times would not have strong, empowered females. Very simple. All right, second, an existing character is race swap. Pretty much a no-brainer. You've got a character that everyone knows they're white. Boom, suddenly they're black. Next up, an existing character is gender swap. Again, you'll see this all the time. You got the male strong hero, and now, boom, all of a sudden they're female. I was tempted to give bonus for if you race and gender swap, but it's double points, so who cares? All right, next up, existing characters, usually the male ones, are emasculated or diminished to prop up a new or existing characters, usually female. Was tempted to put always, but of course there are exceptions. Bottom line is, if you're altering the source material to fit some kind of agenda, which in this case is to promote this female over the male, that's a big no-no. And then last one is changing or ignoring the existing lore, not due to change in the medium. As I said, sometimes those changes are required, but in order to push the message. Not just that you're giving up plot and characters, as all medium applies, but this time you're actually ignoring the existing lore in order to push that message. All right, so there you have it. That sums up pretty much how the woke criteria is going to work out, what's going to be considered when looking at these works. So, are there things I missed, things that need to be changed? Please let me know. This list may be altered. I may have a follow-up video, but in the meantime, let me know what you think.